Good evening, it's the Rony Ryback again. So, I think I've exhausted the tales about what happened. And just for the record, I want to say a few things because it's important, and I'm delighted with so many people looking at it. It's important to understand the reasoning behind me stories. I think the most pressure, anxiety, whatever you want to call it, that I've suffered was rejection and misplaced trust, really. To be rejected from a family is a big thing. Now, I'm not saying to you for one moment that I'm the only person that's ever suffered for losing their parents. No. Losing your parents is one thing. Being rejected is another thing. And I think the rejection after the acknowledgement of my parents dying so young and so close together, the rejection was the hardest thing. Being confident, too confident for what my grandfather said to me over the years, I think was part of that. Because had he been alive, none of that would have happened. The other thing is, I don't feel that I knew my mother and father at all, really. Of course, I got memories, and I grew up with them, but it's very shallow. I was a bit of a loner. I did have a few of my cousins, who I'll talk about later on. And I want to go back over the stories later on and tell you the good times I've had, because it wasn't all bad by any stretch of the imagination. And it's like I didn't do anything or get out with the boys or whatever, but because I did. But I think I struggle with the fact that I think most of my mother's time was being sick. Then when my father got sick, that compounded it even worse. But I did have good times, and I do want to go back over those. But I wanted people to understand where I'm coming from and why I've said the things I've said, to get it off my chest, really. It's been burning me up inside for years. And having the trust and confidence within the family is what I thought I had, but I didn't. But my mother, she was never sure, see. Never sure. Anyway, moving on. When I finally got settled down up there, the scrapyard was booming. And I was 50 yards closer now to Malcolm Drew, who was a scrap dealer as well. So I was up the road, closer towards E. Malcolm was threatening to give up the scrap job because he had car spares, coal. He was a coal merchant. He had a fucking pet shop up there. You name it, Malcolm have tried it. But he had a very big coal business. And he was threatening to give up. Anyway, he started to sell off bits and pieces. And I had about, by this time, 200 or 300 ton of iron in the alley there. So we had a go at making our own furnace, which did work. But Morecambe had this lovely McIntyre furnace up there. A beauty. He said, I'm going to sell the furnace, Clarence. He said, do you want it? I said, yeah. Fucking right, I won't, he won't. So anyway, I buys this furnace. So I had Jimmy Crocker on the furnace then. And we was melding every single day. I'd light the furnace up early in the mornings. Before they got there, he was red hot before they even come. Yeah, so I had old Jimmy Crocker on that job. Then I had the chance. Tell you what happened, man. The case factory, case diggers, they down in Cornwall, they was giving away grants for big factories. So the case factory come there, and couldn't get in there, no way. Fraser Meadows had it. I wrote him letters and letters, no good. Anyway, I was in Redruth one day, and they're having a pint. And lo and behold, there was a chavvy in there called Scott, who used to walk with a limp. And he used to work for my grandfather, carrying the logs into the people's kennels when we had the log round. So I said, all right, mate? He said, yeah, all right. He said, are you Clarence? I said, yeah. Clarence where? Fuck me, he said. I haven't seen you for fucking years. He said, you was only a little boy last time I seen you. I said, yeah. Yeah, I said, you used to carry logs for my grandfather. I could only tell that because he walked with a limp. I said, what are you doing now, boy? He said, I'm the manager in the case factory. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, I deal with all the waste, he said, and I deal with all the income and stuff, and he said, I'm the manager there. I said, who has the scrap? He said, Fraser Meadows, he said. Got 4 skips in there. Thought to myself, Dory, dig at this now. He said, but they are having a bit of trouble at the moment, he said, because they can't get rid of the cardboard and paint tins and all like that. I said, do you think they'd have a deal with me if I went in there? He said, I can arrange for you to see the right man. I said, will you do that for me? Yeah, he said. Anyway, give me a telephone number. Never thought no more about it. 3 or 4 weeks went by. Fuck me, he rung me up. He said, is Scott here? I said to myself, Scott. He said, I met you in the pub. Oh, I said, all right, Scott. Yeah, he said. He said, can he come in here this afternoon? He said, I want you to meet somebody. I thought myself, here I goes. Gets to the security. Press the fucking button. I said, I'm here to see Scott. On goods inwards. Oh yeah, she said, I got your name on the list. Told her my name. In the round the back I goes, fucking hell. All flat profile sheets. Loaded with them. So out come this manager, Scott's boss. Shook his hand. He said, we're quite happy with the service, he said, we're getting. Apart from the fact that they don't clear the cardboard and the wood pallets and stuff like that. He said, look, the skips are overflowing, he said. And health and safety, he said, won't let us carry on. I said, well, I can definitely improve on that. So I said, what are you getting a ton on your steel? I couldn't believe it. Oh, we're getting a good price. I said, what's a good price? He said, we're getting 15 pound a ton. Oh yeah, I said, that's a fair price. I said I could do a little bit better than that. You could, he said. I said, yeah. Right. He said, what about the skip supplying? I said, I'll have David Adams, Aston and Adams. I said, as many skips as you want. Free of charge? I said, yeah, free of charge. No cost to you. He said, and monthly account on the steel. And how much will you charge me for the rubbish? I said, I'll tell you what I'll do, look. I said, I'll go away now and I'll put you a quote together in writing. And come back to me and tell me what you think. Oh, he said, that's perfect. He said, Scott recommends you. And he said, that's good enough for me. So I looked at Scott, he looked at me back. So, well, that goes. Now, I don't know how many people know this, but a skip full of profile plate, that sort of thick, just over half inch or just under half inch, that skip would weigh about 7.5 ton every time. 4 of they, mine. Once a week. But the rubbish was the bugbear, but it wouldn't for me. I could dick what was in the rubbish skips and what was in the rubbish. I said to Scott, is it always like that? Yeah, he said. A lot better than that. Right. So I rang up David Adam. I said, David, I've probably got 6 skips on turnaround once a week. Give me a price. Give me a price. Right. Put a package together from. Fraser's was out. Right. Steel was no problem. When they come and tipped it out, it's beautiful. Brand new plate. With holes cut out of it. Profile sheets. That was fucking beautiful gear. I was soon stacking it up. Because I was making so much money out of it. I could just stack it back. But what I was making money out of was the rubbish. You wouldn't believe it. First load of rubbish come in. I expect there was 200 weight of brand new nuts and bolts in bags, chucked in the skip. Brand new tins of case paint, just chucked in the skip, in amongst paper and wood and plastic and stuff. So I said to Donald, fuck me, Donald, I said, we're selling all this stuff. Yeah, he said, this is fucking ideal. Hydraulic rams, not chucked in the scrap bin, chucked in the waste bin. Brand new, the paint chipped off, wasn't good enough to put on a machine, they chucked it in the skip. That's how much fucking money was involved in this job. Spool valves, hydraulic hoses. I had fucking shedfuls of hydraulic hoses. Doing a lovely fucking job. Beautiful. Making a lot of money at the scrap. As well. But making a lot of money at this. So he rings me up one day. He said, Clarence, he said, the test station got to be drained and they'll replace it with all new oil. I said, so what does that entail then? He said, what they do is they fill a machine up with oil, test the machine that it works okay, then plug it back into this Odin tank like, and take all the oil out. He said, never been used, but they flushed the systems. I said, how many gallons of oil is that, Scott? 5,000 gallons, he said. I said, you're joking. No, he said. Can you do anything with it? He said, we'll pump it into 45-gallon drums. Yeah, I said, fucking right. I said, I'll have that. Anyway, send a 40-foot flat Arctic in there. Fucking hell. I was selling these drums of hydraulic. Oh, farmers knew. Once farmers knew I had it. It'd only been used once. It was just like brand new oil. Yeah, we made a lot of money off that job. I had fucking pallet loads and pallet loads of it. So we was going on then. Fucking brilliant. And had the furnace going. So a fella come to me, friend of the family. He said, these beer covers, he said, can you melt them down? I said, yeah. Anyway, we was on that for 2 years. And I mean, solid. So, one day there, in come McGavers. We got reason to believe, he said, you're melting beer barrels. I said, no, I don't melt the beer barrels. He said, let's take a look around now. What the fucking dinlos didn't realise, in a fucking alley beer barrel, there's a stainless steel insert. And I swear to you, God strike me dead, this is on my son's life now. They were standing on the inserts, or somebody left some hanging around, standing on them, and I was me saying I didn't care nothing. Had they just looked down like that, and Dick, they would have seen them. So, with that they're there, I said to Chavi, we've got to stop. We're doing this for 2 or 3 years, man. Gets up to Graham Toghill. Clarence, he said, that job got to stop. He said, I can't take no more of the ingots. He said, I probably got, and this is true as well, God strike me dead. He said, I probably got 200 ton of them in there. I said, no, Graham. He said, yeah. He said, because I know what they were, and with that great alley, so I've been keeping them back, sending the rest out and just stacking these up. He said, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do, tell you the truth. He said, but I can't take no more of they. I said, that's fair enough, guys. I won't do no more. Anyway, comes back now, says to the chavvy who's bringing this stuff in, I said, Barry, I said, this job got to stop. What for? I said, no, I'm telling you, we're going to get loud. I said, you've been here, looking. He used to bring them here in horse box, fucking great cattle lorry. 80 under at a time. Anyway, I said, got to stop. I said, I'm out anyway. Dory, he went and put his own cover in and carried on doing it. They was hid in the trees, watching him do it. His lorry went in on the weighbridge where he was selling them to. Caught him red-handed on the weighbridge. They caught him. He got done for it. But no need to have, though, because he was told to stop. And I got away with it by the skin of my teeth as well. So, a little tip there for anybody. When you've got a good thing and you've had enough, stop, because it's no good. So as time went on now, I bought my own fucking skip lorry. And I said to me cousin Kenny Willoughby, an Eaters boy, I said, come work for me, miss, driving a skip lorry. Yeah, all right, he said, miss. He went and got his HGV, see. So I sent him in Red Roof Brewery. No, I sent him in the case factory, that's right. And he had puncheons on. Picked the skip up. And he rung me up from in there. Clary said, this fucking skip, he said, miss, is too heavy for this lorry. He said, I'm trash, really. I said, you got it on the lorry, miss? Yeah, it's the one on the lorry, he said, but he's some fucking weight. I said, well, you'll have to fucking come out and come on quietly, Ken. Come on my back roads, I said. All right, miss. About 3/4 hour went by. He should have been home. Phone rings. Claire. Yeah, what's the matter, Ken? I'm up on the Sunday Road. The lorry's on his side. The fucking skip slid one side. I couldn't hold her straight and I went down in the ditch. Now she's on her side. Fucking hell, I said. I said, all right, I'll get her the cookie. Well, the Gavers was there, see? Blocked the road off. They called for the ministry. We'd have got fucking done. Anyway, the fucking skip now, where the puncheons went one side, the puncheons was spilling out the back of the skip. So when I got there, Francis Cook was there. He said, how much weight's in that skip? I said, I don't know, Francis. He said, it's fucking heavy, isn't it? I said, yeah. He said, I don't know if this lorry's going to pull it out. So anyway, he pulled up. And the Gavers kept saying to him, well, we better wait for the ministry. Francis said, well, I do this all the time. I normally just pull them out and then the ministry sorts it out. Oh, he said, carry on. He pulled forward, put the fucking lorry, stopped the lorry, undone the winch wire. We winched her out, but as we winched her out, you could see the skip arms and all was bent. He said, I'm going to fucking take this lorry right back to your yard, he said, because I know what's going to happen. He said, they're going to take this fucking gear right out to the ministry. I said, get on, Francis. So he pulled back under the fucking lorry, jacked her up, put the chains on, poof, he was gone. When we got back to the fucking yard, because the Gavers took all the details, we took the fucking skip off. I think it was 9.5 ton in there. She'd only been 6. Anyway, about 3/4 hour later, in pulled the fucking ministry. This is the lorry, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, where's the skip? I said, unload the skip. We shouldn't have done that. We was going to lift this vehicle and take it to the weighbridge. I said, oh yeah. I said, they give Francis fuck, but he saved our bacon that day. But she turned right over, right in the side. So then, I went up to Norfolk again, and I bought a fucking Volvo skip lorry. I was mad on Volvos. Anyway, bought this fucking Volvo skip lorry. Lovely lorry. Come back, a lot bigger lorry, see. So, went home with the skips, lovely. And just went on from there. So Malcolm Drew said now, I'm packing up all together. Come up, he said, and I'll give you the customer book. He said, but what it is, I want £2 a ton off every customer. I said, that's right, Mo. He said, it all got to go over my weighbridge. I said, that's fair enough. I said, it's only your customers, mine. Yeah. What customers you got is up to you. Only the people that I turn over to you. I said, that's right. Now we was fucking bouncing. So we had to have another skip lorry. So I bought a roll on, roll off. 13 tonner. Because you could still carry about 7 ton legal on easy. Anyway, I had 2 lorries on the road then. And by that time, man, I had 5 men working for me. So we was flying on. 2 machines. I had 2 grabs and a magnet there. Alligator shear for shearing scrap. Furnace. So I phoned them one day. Bennett's the coal merchant down Perrin. We got a machine down here that we got to sell. Would you be interested? I said, what type of machine is it? He said, it's a Pocklane TY45 with a clamshell bucket on it. He said it was brand new. It's 10-year-old. It's never left the coal yard. It's been on the cover from brand new. I said, all right, I'll be down. Goes down. Walks in this shed. And there's this machine. Now, anybody who knows about Pocklanes, a TY45 was a freewheeler. Freewheel. You had a big long nose on it, 2 wheels behind, but it's just like a rubber duck. Goes in, digs at this machine, and he is like brand new. You wipe the coal dust off, and the paint is like brand new. All the lights working, beacons, everything. Anyway, I buys this machine, brings up the insurance company, got the insurance on, and I said, I'll drive him home. I drove him all the way home from Penryn. He was like brand fire new. I got photographs of he as well. Anyway, this was a machine that you could load swarf with or anything like that faster than you could with a magnet, because you drop this big bucket down and you scoop them up on a lorry. So I said to Donald, I said, that's a good machine there, Don. Yeah, fucking booty that is, he said. But he wasn't like the machines of the day where you got 2 levers. He had levers in front, like pianos. Anyway, Donald could never get on with this fucking machine. So, by this time now, my Uncle Harry had settled down as well, and he went working with his father-in-law. They had a lorry and they bought a yard further over across the valley. But to do anything big, they had to come. I used to come into my yard and cut it up there or whatever they done. Anyway, that was all right. I didn't mind that. He was always right to me. So, Uncle Harry used to pop in nearly every day for a cup of tea with the boys like. Anyway, this day, he come in to the fucking tea room when we was in having our dinner. There was Dickie Crocker, Jimmy Crocker, Donald Tangy, I think Morris was there, Kenny was out on the lorry, and me, sitting in the tea room. And in walked Donald. So, about 20 minutes, half hour went by. This is true. God straight me dead as hand on my heart. This is the truth. About 20 minutes went by, half hour, and walked on Gary. He said, who parked the fucking machine in the bungalow? I said, what do you mean? He said, who was the last one to drive the machine? Drove him right through the side of the bungalow. I said, that was a fucking daft. You joking? He said, no. We all got up and run out. Donald tracked me, one of me fucking poke lanes, right through the end of me bungalow. Right through. Fuck me, what are we going to do? The old Jimmy Crocker was a bit of a handy old builder as well. So I said, what are we going to do with that, Jim? He said, we've got to get a jack. Jack it off the track a machine back, and he said, I'll have to build the corner back up. Nothing never moved. That takes some believing. Nothing never moved. So we had some hydraulic jacks and some timbers, jacked it up. I started the machine back up, drove them back out, and Jimmy built the corner back up, and he did put a tiny crack up in the top corner. But that's all that happened with that. Donald was sick as a pig, but we thought Harry was fucking joking. No, he drove the fucking machine right through. Yeah, poor old Donald. Right, Malcolm Drew now said he's packing up. So he gave me the contract of Wheel Jane Mine and Crofty Mine. So he took me down and introduced me to this bloke. This is Clarence Ware, my next door neighbour. He'll be paying you, but it'll still be going through me at the end of the day when it's all processed and gone away, he said. So I'm packing up as such. That's right, he said, Mr. Drew. No problem. A few weeks went by. This mush rings me up. He said, we got about 60 ton of pipes here. Pipe work, he said, redundant. Bought for a job and never used. I said, all right, come down. I said, Donald, jump up. He said, what's that, miss? I'll go down. We'll Jane a minute. Anyway, gets down there. And these pipes are about 30 foot long. 60 ton of them. He said, they got to go there. Looked at the pipes. They had black bitumen on the outside, obviously for down underground. Never bothered to look at the pipes no more than saw they were steel with this black bitumen. Right. Agreed the price. I said, what we do, Don? We'll take the fucking burners down there, cut them in half, and load them on the lorry with diap. 15 foot then, see? All right. We gets down there about a week later. Goes in the fucking compound, takes Donald's burning gear off. We was only going to be there for a couple of days, so it didn't matter, and we was only like 3 miles away. So Donald starts his lamp up, starts cutting these pipes in half. And it started blowing back. And like bluey fucking smoke coming out the end of the pipes. I said, that ain't galvanised, is it, Don? No, he said, you silly cunt. These pipes are lead lined. I said, never. He said, they fucking are. Told you, I said to myself. Fuck me, how heavy's one of they going to be? Anyway. Brought these fucking pipes home. Didn't say nothing to nobody because you couldn't say nothing. Only me and Donald knew. So I said, what we're going to do? I said, tell you what we're going to do, Don. I said, all that fucking wood from the case factory, we ain't going to burn that up for a day or two. I said, what we're going to do is we're going to make a fucking great fire. And we're going to put 2 or 3 lengths of the pipe on there. Some sheets of galvanized underneath. Light the fire and run the fucking lead out. He said, we'll try it. Yeah, we tried it, boy. Outrun the lead like fucking silver. Yeah. I think there was 19 ton of lead come out off that job. And we had it for iron money. Yeah, it's a good job. Yeah, give Malcolm a good drink out of that job. I told him what it was in the end because we fucking didn't have much option. Yeah. So when I was down there, I got chatting to Peter Lobb from Lobb Brothers. He said, me and my brother, he said, got these fucking great dump trucks down the bottom. He said, come down and give me a price. I said, Peter, I said, they take a lot of cutting up. Oh no, he said, we'll cut them up. I said, all right. Goes down. Gives him the price. He said, right, it's like this here, he said, Bernard don't trust no fucker. He said, once it scraps on the lorry and it goes over the weighbridge, you'll pay me the cash. Yeah, I said, yeah. Every time, Pete. Don't worry about that. Right, he said, we got a deal. Anyway, cut up all these fucking dump trucks they did. Dinner for weeks. I paid him up. And he said, right, I got another job. I said, what's that, Pete? He said, there's a big air at it over there. He said, and they've been chucking 45-gallon drums in there. I said, yeah. He said, yeah. There's fucking thousands of them. He said, and there's lots of them in there filled up with ball bearings out of the ball mill. I said, never. He said, yeah. Anyway, he takes me over there. He goes down in a fucking mine shaft like that with his brand new swing shovel. I lent the grab. So he brought out the 45-gallon barrels, heavy duty gauge ones it was. And he also brought out these barrels of fucking ball bearings. Like that, out of the roller mill. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with AP. Fucking hell, I said. Anyway, at that time, a fella called on me, whose mother was a real traveller. And he was called Jesse Frame. Come down. He said, we got a Born Figioli baler, he said, and we go around bailing up. I said, oh yeah. I had a fucking whack of a mountain of gear in the yard. I said, what's the money like? Oh yeah. Prices was bang on. So what they did was they bring the baler in, bail it, send the bales out. Pay you right on the fucking knock. As soon as the lorry left the yard and it was weighed, they pay. No problem. I've noticed now I'm on 38 minutes there. So I'm going to say that's the instalment for the night. It's bye-bye from the Romany Rye. And I'll see you again tomorrow.